What am I paying? 2025.
A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Bafana.
All about Fetu, this is Parker, yeah? Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamelo chopho ngeke phume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Joseph Mokwena and I'm your host. And this is the show where we love South African football, we love African football, and we love every now and then to go overseas. So I'm going to start this off by saying well done to Liverpool for clinching the league there in England. They managed to win it versus Tottenham 5-1. And Arsenal chased but could not get there. So I'm going to start off by there. Well done to them for doing that. And then, of course, we're going to speak about our South African teams that are playing in Africa. But before we do that, guys, I have an interview out. I have an interview out on my YouTube channel, Overthinking Football Show. It's the one that it's in the picture right there. Before we get into the formalities of the show, I've just got some announcements. Please, can you please check out my YouTube video where I interviewed Utosta Dada. We had a great chat about every single thing. He's one of the few players that have been overseas, that have played for Vets, that have played for Kaizer Chiefs, that have played for Mamelodi Sundowns, especially during the time when Patrice Motsepe was starting out. So please do me the favor of going onto my YouTube channel and checking out my interview with Utosta Dada. Okay, guys, the show is on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana are in action. We will be live covering it live, the stories. And remember, this is a very interactive show. So you are able to jump in and add your voice to the show. So for those watching on YouTube, feel free to jump in on this side and we can have a quick chat about whatever it is that is the topic. And you can add your voice to the show by pressing the button at the bottom of your screen that says multi-guest. You click on it, I let you in. We have some really dope conversations here on the show. And I go by the gift, guys, let's try hit 50K today, guys. So this past weekend was a very interesting weekend. On Saturday, Kaizer Chiefs was trying to stake their claim for the top 8, and they just so happened to meet up with the Moromo Kalan's team that managed to beat them 2-1. Then, of course, on Friday, there was the big day because two of our South African teams had the chance to make it into the CAF Champions League finals. And we were probably going to get, we were this close to getting a CAF, an All South African CAF Champions League final. Of course, with Pirates playing Pyramids and losing out. We didn't get that. Pyramids beating Pirates 3-2. And then, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns seems to be the last man standing of the South African teams in the South African teams in the Champions League because Kimoba win Nebona on their side and well, they drew, which meant they won over the two legs with the away goal, and they make it through to one of their first finals, the first final since Coach Pitso was around. So this is a great chance for Mamelodi Sundowns to really stake their claim as being the best South African team if they're able to win that second star. Motaung, welcome. So guys, please bear with me. I'm going to start somewhere. Just to allow Banababang to have their shine, to have the time to get some therapy. So I'm going to start off with Kaizer Chiefs. Let me just make sure. Evan. I'm going to start with Kaizer Chiefs and we'll see, man, what happens there. Apologies, guys. I don't know what's happening here, but my timer's doing something here. Okay. The moment I mention Chiefs, things start breaking, man. There we go. Okay. So Kaizer Chiefs, while I let you guys jump in, we're going to start off with Kaizer Chiefs. We're going to move on to Orlando Pirates. Then we're going to end off with Mamelodi Sundowns' game. So everybody, it's not going to be 25 minutes this time. It's going to be 20 minutes because we've got 3 games. So I'm going to start off with Kaizer Chiefs. Everybody's going to get 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes. Try and tell me what you think in the first 2 or 3 minutes so that I can ask you a question and we can speak to each other. Then when I'm done, we can have some other people jump in. Can we please respect each other here? Kaizer Chiefs played Marumo Gallants in the league, losing to Gallants 2-1. Lilepo scored in the 10th minute. Tshwane came back in the 41st minute. And then, of course, in the 70th minute, Msendami scored an incredible goal from a free kick that went directly in, which was very interesting. Then, in terms of the stats, Kaizer Chiefs had 7 shots, 3 on target. Gallants had 10 shots, 6 on target. Kaizer Chiefs had 64% of the possession. They completed 468 passes, whereas Marumo Gallants had 10 shots, 6 on targets, 36% of the possession for 252 completed passes. They had 1 big chance and they missed it, whereas Kaizer Chiefs completed no big chances. Let me let Bukhali in. Bukhali, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Football is cruel, OT.
Football is cruel?
Football is straight, OT.
Ow.
This sport will kill us alone, OT. It will be because of...
Yeah.
OT. This game, right? There's nothing much to speak about this game, OT. Nothing much. It was such a boring game. This game is a disgrace to football. Can I just rant real quick? This game.
Go for it.
It's a disgrace to football, this game, OT. No imagination, zero imagination, no progression of the play. There was no midfield. OT. It's a disgrace for teams to have midfielders that don't progress the ball. OT. Both midfields did not progress the ball. It's, there's one thing that Lindo says that, I've been realizing that, this guy's right. He's saying global football is producing average midfielders. OT.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. We can't be having midfielders who can receive the ball on the half turn. OT. We can't be having midfielders who can progress the ball. We can't be having number 10s who can advance the play. OT. Number 10s who can feed the front three. OT. It's a disgrace to football. We can't be having matches that have no imagination. OT.
Yeah.
Matches that are unwatchable. OT. For such a big team, it was honestly unwatchable. OT. People, they say it was a tactical game. Tactical ganjani. Kanja, tactical. I'm asking, tactical Kanja.
Yeah.
It was just a bad game. If the midfielders were not even, if it was tactical, I'd expect maybe midfielders to be using the pockets and the opposition, kind of man marking, and then the ball is just getting circulated. Then you call that a boring game. Then I said yes, it was a tactical game. This one, it was just zero imagination, zero technicality, zero tactic. Everything is just a mess, OT. It's just a mess, OT.
So then, Bukhali, who's to blame for the mess? Where does the blame lie? How would you explain how we get here, knowing that we are towards the end of the season? We've had these players for almost the whole season. There have been so many different games. How do you explain how this went wrong?
OT, it's important for me to say that historical the blame I'm going to talk about this game, but I say the blame is top level management. But let me not talk about the game, not top level management.
Okay.
The game is on I want to say the players, because they have no motivation. They have no motivation for these type of games, right? But I'm asking myself, does that not come from the manager? OT? I think the game plan of the manager changes every game. OT. These players are lost. They don't know what to do on the pitch, because they are asked to do different things every single time. OT. I look at it. What is Mdu supposed to do on the pitch? I just see him running around personally. OT. He's everywhere. Sometimes I don't even know if he's an 8. We are playing. Sometimes it's OT. It seems like sometimes Chiefs is playing with 3 8s.
Yeah.
Sometimes Chiefs are playing with 3 8s. I'm like, is Mdu supposed to be an 8 or a 10? Sometimes it's in the 6. These players don't know what to do, honestly. And I think that's what it comes down to, is that these players genuinely don't know what is being asked of them, because it changes every time. I saw it different. Solomon's, one day I see him inverting being asked to do underlapping runs. The other day he's asked to overlap and stay on that wheel. He doesn't have a specific role for himself. And the midfield, every game it changes. That also goes is part of it. The midfield changes every game. We can't be 26 or 25 games into the season. We don't even have the first 11. Okay, sharp. We don't even have a stable midfield. We don't even have a stable. That is the most important part of the midfield. Third, in football, is the most important part of the pitch, because it is the link between the defense and the attack and the final third.
Yeah.
But and you don't even. That's not even stable through the whole season. That's not even stable. I mean, what are we doing here at this club,
I would ask you for this last minute. What do you think about the game versus Pirates? And then how do you feel about next season? Well, do you think any of this will be fixed?
Allegedly, I have heard rumors of Chiefs having a budget of 80 million. That money is gonna
what's that? Well, who's that player from Sundowns? That's a sales plus 20 million.
Yes, and OT, that money, they might as well just give me it so I can chow it, because they're gonna waste that money. That money is gonna go to nothing, OT. Why? Because Chiefs next season, OT will be in the same position talking about the same things. Nothing's gonna change next season. I will tell you that right now. Nothing.
And then very quickly, let's talk about Saturday. How do you feel about Saturday right now?
Saturday, that game will be a draw. Because why? Because we will be highly motivated, and we just pitch up in such games. So that game we will play a mature game. I'll say that we'll play a mature game.
For time's sake, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring you Ray. Ray, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yo, Mr. OT, how are you?
Hi, Ray. Man, we're watching other kids taking passports and flying into other countries. We can't even win anyway. Ray, how do you feel about this game? Welcome.
Mr. OT. Hey, man, Mr. OT. Marasautin, because yabo, we were playing against Sundowns. We won that game. We were celebrating. Go down. We were celebrating as if we won the FIFA Club World Cup. Now we
Yeah.
are back to square one. We lost to Marumo Galans, yabo, and we drew at Chipa United. Nah, Mr. OT, for me, my team share. Nah, Kaizer Chiefs is not going anywhere, yabo. And imagine, like, last week Saturday, we were lacking. Let's be honest, we were lacking. Like,
Hey, guys. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's echoing. Let's try that
can you
again,
hear me?
right? I can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, sure. Yeah, for me, last week Saturday, I don't know what we were trying to do, yabo.
Yeah.
Nabi when the starting lineup was released, I was like, yo, we are not winning this one. We are not winning this one. Yeah, because I was been watching Marumo Kalans because they like to use the they attack with their wingers, yeah. And you could
Yeah.
tell like last week Saturday they were going to that space of Solomon because they could like they want to put him under pressure so that he can get the yellow card. And their plan worked, yeah. And they took him out of the game, yeah. And for me, now Bruce Vuma, nah, you've been at the club for 10 years, but you still performing like this. Manu Bruce Vuma, nah, for me, na marahambe for me. End of
Yeah.
the season, he must go. We need, let's be honest, Mr. OT, we need new goalkeepers, man, yabo. We need new goalkeepers, yabo. Only two, yabo. They must bring two nyana, yabo. Because we can't be talking about the same thing over and over. Now we need goalkeepers. Now we need strikers, but this time we need a goalkeeper, like two international goalkeeper who are playing. Who are international goalkeepers, because Bruce Fumias disappoint, man.
So should we go back for Nwabali? Who would you bring in?
You mean you're talking about the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
There's this goalkeeper like young Africans who like I forgot that goalkeeper, man. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Oti, I forgot his name.
No,
And
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
also that one is Stellenbosch. That one I need that goalkeeper, because I could see like his defense is organized like Stellenbosch because I need because he's a true leader. He knows how to communicate with players. But you Bruce Mutulile now. For me now, like I know Mr. Oti, this is unacceptable. Like next season we need to fix everything,
But will it get fixed? Because we need keepers, we need strikers, we need midfielders, we need defenders. Hey, isn't this a bit too much?
Yeah, like it's too much, but next season, like I wanted the management and coach Nabi and the technical team, they must look at this season. What went wrong? What went wrong? Where were we lacking? Did we bring the right players? Like did the style of Nabi did it fit properly to the players? Or for me, it's just the players' mentality. Okay, some players have that attitude. They don't want to play for the club. They don't want to represent the badge. They just want to play for their salary. And for me now, like for me, they need to go like off season. They need to fix everything. They need to like bring strikers. And they need to like bring two wingers. They need to bring like people who will play for the badge. We want like Kasi players. Kasi players who understand what it means to play for the club. Who wants to win. We want those players, man. We don't want players who are cheese boy, man. Who could come and do who won't do who will do the job. We want players who are fighters. Mr. OT,
For the last minute here, how do you feel about Pirates? The Pirates game over the weekend, and how do you feel about Coach Nabi?
Yo, hey, Pirates, it's going to be tough, Mr. OT. It's going to be tough. But our players, I noticed this, like our team, they always show up in the big games. Yabo. They always show up in the big important games. Yabo. That's why like ilapo vele sebas choose ukuthi I Chiefs yabo is playing well. But no, these people are they show up in important games. Our Sundowns, the Pirates, Stellenbosch, yabo. Those type of team. And for me next week, yabo, next week against Nedbank Cup. Mr. Oti, I want to have that confidence to say like we're going to win it, but I'm born.
Okay.
Mr. Oti, because Orlando Pirates, dangerous that team. And it's the last and you
yeah.
like, oh, is this
Very
last
quickly.
Yeah. Is this last time? So the players they want to do something for the coach, yabo.
Okay, no, for time, maybe Singapore only 15. Guys, please like, tap the screen. I just want to shout out the Chiefs DDC team for winning the DDC. They won the league that side. Shout out to Coach Vela, and I think Coach Sheppy is with him. Let me go to TikTok user. Welcome, how are you?
Mr. Uti.
How are you, my brother?
Ngiyaphila Mr. Uti.
Ngifuna ukubuza ke ukuthi mina ngiphili kahle angikho right man 2-1 versus Gallants uyibona njani Cape?
You know, Mr. Uti, one thing I didn't like about this game is the fact that having a player enjengo Aiden McCarthy, that player was supposed to go and celebrate with his peers for winning the first ever DTC for Kaizer Chiefs. But Unabi is having that player on the bench. But Abo Pirate, they have Abo Mbogazi, Abo Sundowns, they are playing Abo MP. So my concern about Unabi is that a poor decision making from coach, because already we are suffering with centre back. We just sold Udi Clock in January. Now we have Aiden McCarthy on the bench. How can you have a best defender who DTC on the bench and then you appear who crossed up and go back for no Kwinika? Kwinika has been good DTC Chiefs. We once sold him to Stellenbosch, and Waboy Kwinika has never shown us he really wants to play for Kaizer Chiefs. So this game, the way Ngibonenga I would say it was a game of just scrappy football from both teams, and how can I put this? Scrappy football and also individual errors from goalkeeper. I mean, guys, we cannot have a goalkeeper as errors aganje. It did the same kind of errors against Arrows. I mean, I can count a lot of games where Ubavuma is like goalkeeping reactions are very poor. So coming to this game, I saw midfielder Ucela was taking off, and then you have Umat esedlala as a fullback. I didn't understand ukuthi coach Nabu dlala kanjani. For a coach that had demands before coming to Chief. Remember when Unabi was supposed to come to Chiefs before we appointed to Nabi, he had demands.
Declined.
Yes, he declined us. So he told us ukuthi akafuni assistant coach of a local assistant coach. He wants his own technical team.
Yeah.
He wants a preseason. Guys, we gave Unabi everything. We gave him a preseason. We gave him. I can count a lot of things, but for a coach that fails to read a game, Ganje, I wouldn't mean I'm protect to coach and say his focus is Manchester Pirates. I mean, guys, 25 games, 30 points. 25 games, 30 points. I mean, are we really gonna reach top 8? Or now I feel like the whole focus is within winning Nedbank. Because Nedbank OT, we are performing well with Nedbank. Like Nedbank, we have been winning all our matches with Nedbank. We're undefeated with Nedbank. So I have coach, but one thing I love about Unabi, because I know Unabi is either gonna resign or Chiefs is on Osh. I don't think Unabi is gonna be there next season. But one thing I anytime dealing with Unabi is the fact that our youngsters a chance, and really if you could see Utuba is on 6 goals, I think 4, Ushabalala I think is on 3. I think the problem here is our experienced players which experienced players which are not coming to the party bafethu.
Okay.
These boys they show they have that ruthless aggression ukuthi they wanna play, they wanna win. But our captain is not leading. Goalkeeper is doing schoolboy errors and and one thing Enzo issue for OT is that I am gonna blame a technical team. I am gonna blame technical team gaga nabi sukela ku goalkeeping coach. I think the goalkeeping coach is not doing well. And I am gonna blame the fitness coach because I've been watching the Chiefs go YouTube channel yabo, and I could see the way they train on. There's no energy, there's no high intensity, like the way they there's no energy, guys. You can check it on YouTube up. So yeah.
For time, I'm gonna have to jump in. Thank you so much, TikTok user. I just wanted to let you go. Usually I ask questions, but for time's sake, let me go to Ongama.
Thank you for the opportunity. And
that age.
Ask you.
That age, man. Ngithi that age yakho man qale mo age uthini ngale game ye Gallants to.
No, I won't ask you ilentoga impilo and I'll just jump to it.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask you a question. One question when
Okay.
My question now, is saying, when we are saying the coach is rotating the squad, in what manner? Can someone elaborate that to me? At least I'll come with my perspective and then deal with the game. Can someone elaborate to me when you are saying maybe the coach is changing lineup week in, week out? Can you elaborate that to me? I'll come with my perspective and then we go into the game.
Look, Mina, honestly speaking, I don't believe that Chiefs is the team that needs to be rotated. You don't have as many games, you don't have as many responsibilities. You have to keep that first team intact as much as possible. So to the people who are saying that they're rotating, I get rotator, but rotate to what end? You know, so that's where I'm sitting on it. I don't believe that Chiefs is a rotating team. Abo Pirates, Nabo Sundowns, yes, you have to rotate because the amount of games, and even they don't change that much. So I don't believe it's rotating. I just feel like, honestly speaking, I feel like the Marumo Gallants, they took the game off. But anyway, Ongama, I don't know if I've answered anything there.
I'll come with my perspective now.
Yeah.
I think I spoke about this for the last 3 months to you. You know, OT, Tina, in our team, we always have injury in every 2-3 games. I don't know if you have ever noticed, OT, whenever we are playing, in every 2-3 games, there's an injury. In the last 3 games, in the last game against the Chipa, Dove had an injury from last game of Lendok. Injury, ankle injury. I think there was a tackle with that game. And the game, and also other game, there was a suspension of the 2 crucial players, which is Opule Moti and Castan Serin. So I think now in OT, as from the season started, there was always a forced substitution, or Castillo or Dove. Always this season there was always this thing happening. This season there is always a forced substitution. Injuries every season, every game in, game out. So I think personally, I don't believe the coach want to change players, but these changes, they are forced. If you can check, Umart is always available. We are Lala. Utele, he's been always available. We are Lala. Every player that has always been available. He are Lala. Abo Vuma, he's been always available. He have never been changed. Vuma. He's been in the game. Players that has been always available, they are always playing. So I think that's my perspective. That
so can I? No, I just want to ask you for this last minute here. Okay, we say it's injuries, but you look at a team like Pirates, you know, their whole back line has been in and out because of injuries. You look at the midfield, they even haven't been able to change that midfield. They've got a ton of games. You look at Mamelodi Sundowns, Khoza have changed out, Kekana have come in, Suarez have come in. There's been, let's say, rotation on that side. Can we blame performances on injuries if we're not ready with other players who can step in and do the job? Is it now that we're going to say that? Because there's a lot of teams that deal with injuries.
You know, when OT, my basic problem is that we can't have a team that is always, we can't even have 3 months on our OT, or at least a month on our OT, a month without injury, whereby we'll have a consistent lineup. Asinayo a consistent lineup when OT every 2-3 games with Kaizer Chiefs. There's either after 2 games there's a crucial 2 suspension with players. We can't make a combination play. Every 2-3 games there's an injury. In every 2-3 games, asikwazi ubane combination, ukuze sikwazi ubane continuation. So that's what has been happening in our team for the rest of the seasons. So I don't know ukuthi bengingaphinde ngicacise ngegame wena uthi can't be sathelwa ngegame na ngezinto bezisenzeka kwigame. It's just the stepping in.
Yeah. for time, I'm gonna have to jump in for time.
Okay, I'll leave it to other people when OT, but
okay.
What I took from the game
very quickly. Yeah.
What I took from the game when OT, and what I heard from Jordaan Milford, the pressure factor that I've been talking about from Kaizer Chiefs is the major thing that has been happening.
Okay.
Under pressure,
yeah,
doing a lot of mistakes. So I think that's another thing that we need to look at it: pressure factor and also injuries. That is the rest of it.
For time, I'm going to jump in. On that note, before I let the next speaker in, guys, I have an interview that I did with Jordaan Milford. It's on YouTube. It's an hour 30. We delved into every single thing. One of the few players that knows what it's like to play overseas, that knows what it's like to play for Vets, Chiefs, and Mamelodi Sundowns. He was around Mamelodi Sundowns when Tate Motsepe had taken over. So we have some in-depth discussions there. And he also speaks about Kaizer Chiefs and what happens when you get to Kaizer Chiefs and all of those things. I ask all of the questions, the ones that we normally speak on here. So please, if you can do me the favor after this, go and watch the interview. Uchosta gave us some incredible nuggets. Let me go to Gary. Gary, welcome to the show. Ay man, hey, angisazi ukuthi ngifile njani ngale Chiefs, but it's fine. 2-1 versus Marumo Cannons. Uthini ngale game Prake?
Mina ngikhala ngama mistakes enziwa ma-player we-team enkulu la eMzansi. Mina ngi-Sundowns fan, kodwa ngiyakhala man. Hey, Chiefs lapha game le iwinile ndoda. Second goal was unnecessary. First goal, I mean really, really. So okay, those mistakes do happen. Mina ngifuna ukuthi asinikeni uNabi a chance. Although I'm a Sundowns fan, I want to support, like our president said, you cannot develop South African football without Kaizer Chiefs being successful. Do you understand? So we need to Chiefs focus right now. Be top 8 and be the best position possible in the log. Nedbank is a bit tough one because they can win it because Derby is a different one, eh?
Oh, Gary, are you still with me? Debs, can you hear me? Hey, man.
Yes,
oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Gary, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I think you just went quiet there.
No, but we're network for sure.
Okay, no stress.
Yeah, but basically, I know I'm a Sundowns fan, but I would love to see a good Kaizer Chiefs. It's very good for the league. It's good for everything. We are sure on the manje. Unabi, I think he's preparing for next season, guys, because manje ugo Nedbank final, ne? Which means definitely the Confederation Cup. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Confed Cup, and then he needs to plan now. I'm playing nearly top 8 only. Top 8, Nedbank plus CAF. Damana 3, the belas bele manje. And I made him supporting man. Yes, ubavuma una mistakes wakhe. Nobody is perfect. And then utove na wangena nje as a substitution wa korekaya, umpura korekaya. Chiefs yadliwa that day. It's just small mistakes as khona ku Chiefs man. Nothing is bad. I tell you, Chiefs is sharp. Net nje slight finishes, good players there, good decision making. It's not that bad. They wouldn't net as patient as people. Yes, I'm on the winning side now, Msandawana, but I do feel I'm afraid the Chiefs are too hard on the players with Kaizer Chiefs. Really, it's too much pressure, and these guys are still young. Kunzima mfethu ukukhuleka kodwa khumalo bakusutanizer jabo mahla basutanizer bonke umuntu ukubhekile wonke umuntu ukubhekile bra uncobo nje ungucela nje ubhekiwe mfethu uyasaba nokutrappa wrong, and I think that should not be the case. It should be a matter of futhi at least sibone ukuthi okay manje sinyazi league is out, and then kune bank kune CAF ezayo, and then ne top 8 bese silwele. I think mina on our side nama will push for amakhosi amahle mfethu as a Sundowns fan ukuthi abadevelop kule top 8 abazama ukuwina la Nedbank, and then bazama ku CAF. Abo CAF definitely they're gonna play the winners of the Champions League, which is a confirmed cup. I don't know what the name of the cup is.
Yeah, the Super Cup.
You understand? Yeah, Super Cup.
Can I?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you, is it harsh to say that pressure is part of your job at Kaizer Chiefs? That unfortunately it'd be great to have a nice time, but pressure is part of your job. You get to be part of this team. When things are going well, you get the greatest of the greatest highs, sometimes even higher than other teams that are doing better. Salary angena every month, there's endorsement deals. Isn't it part of the job?
I think expectations bring pressure. And the expectations now on our side from our fans, whether it's Sundowns, Pirates, or Chiefs, or Stellenbosch, like Izola was rooting for Stellenbosch to win. The pressure, the expectations bring pressure. That's unnecessary. If, like, for example, if I were talking about the Kaizer Chiefs, I know Chiefs is a good team, they've got good structures, good everything. But the expectations bring unnecessary pressure currently now at their development stage. Because the Chiefs is not, it took Pirates long now to actually get to where Sundowns instead of developing and planning for the next season. Now Chiefs must start doing it now. Bangathi next season, abaqale manje ukuplana for next season and buying players for next season, promote players for next season. Hayi baqale but hey, sihambe Sundowns, angeke kulunge. Sundowns is far ahead, Pirates is far ahead. Stellenbosch is even catching up. Look at Supersport now, ikuphi? Lenzans, because there's some crumbling things happening there. Cape Town Spurs as well. Manenga team as a come to this thing of not planning ahead. So which is, I think, expectations cloud their judgment of planning ahead. Because they expect to win all the time. It's not possible. Yeah.
Well, is it to win all the time, or is it top 8, top 6, top 5? Is that too much to ask for the team from the team?
When you're a Kaizer Chiefs, you must win, my guy. Remember, it's not easy. When a team is struggling for so long, I win in the cup. I mean, my son, social media, I've never seen Chiefs win a cup. It's sad. It needs to be corrected, and the management must do something about it. No, Sundowns, like I said, we're not doing even better. That's how we plan. However, Chiefs needs to be there. Chiefs needs to step up their games. And make sure the players are well developed, whether from goalkeeping department, defense, middle field, and attacking. They must always be on point. Doesn't make sense. And I've seen so many games with Chiefs and
For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring you Tebza. I'm sure Hubi Maman, you had to watch Liverpool winning. Team how Nisi Seria Seka Kwaman. Welcome.
Ogare the teams are not the teams are not Ogare the excuse here one. Hey, we are focusing on Nedbank. Hey, we are focusing on Champions
League.
We're not taking those excuses, man.
Let's, okay, let's not do what our team did. Let's focus on Maruma Kalans.
Let's.
What did you feel about that game?
A game of errors, a game of poor decision making from our coach as usual. I normally tell you, our coach either starts with a good team, and when he substitutes, he makes wrong substitutions, or he starts very bad and then later on tries to fix it. So I think our coach again not the young OT, as you always say, we cannot always say quality of the player are this, quality of the player are that. You look at our team, and when I look at our team, I see players that I would select and they would put us in a better position right now. Not number 1, number 2, but then at least number 4, number 3, right?
Number 16,
Number 16, you understand? There are those players that can put us in that position, but then for us to be in this position, it's solely for the Ayanad. Yes, we said we're going to give him time and all that, but then also, Luena, buy yourself time by showing us a good decision making and showing us team idalesha. You understand? That's how you buy yourself time. Now, no, so and so is not doing well, and then he's no longer playing them. How long does he want to see where certain players are not playing well, therefore they are no longer going to play? When I'm Kalabare national team, he's brutal. He sees you 1, 2, twice, you're no longer coming back to the national team. You understand? It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. So now excuse ya haiki nyahore kan he's getting relaga ufile na go bargaman chivaviru ketninga mufile na kwetele. It is now that he benches him, or is he on injury? I'm not sure, but I know he likes him. Understand? But then we know who the player at the they are talking about Mart. I remember last two games, I saw a few people praising him, and I was like, I'm not going to praise Mart because yes, he made 1 or 2, 3 interceptions and tackles and all that, but then after winning the ball, what does he do with the ball? You understand? I'm not going to do that. You understand? So again with Kaele, can he see that Kaele is the one player that can play a central defensive midfielder? Just because now he's good technically and all that, now he has to push him forward. It's not like that. He is the one who's comfortable on the ball, who's supposed to collect the ball from our defense. I don't know what else Mato has to do to start games and regularly so. You understand?
This is what I wanted to know. Should there be an expectation of a coach by now? And I know we are speaking about Chiefs players and quality, but shouldn't there be an expectation of the coach by now in the season that you know that, okay, when this one is out, that one comes in. When I need a game to do this, I do that. When I need to do that, are we asking too much from Nebi for that, especially at number 9, for example? I mean, is it too much to ask for 7 with the players that you have, or does he need an overhaul? And mind you, 8 players have come in this season. 8.
8. Look, OT, we don't need so much of an overhaul. No. When I look at our defense, we have 3 defense center backs who I think are very good. We have Dudley, we have Msimango, we have Miguel, and we are yet to see this Mekezi who is being highly rated, the youngster. We will see him, we will assess him. But then for now, I'm confident with Dudley, Msimango, and Miguel. We are fine. You look at our left back, you have, I mean, who are you going to sign at left back? You have Marcia, and give him that. Yes, players make mistakes because 1, 2, 3, but then give the guy a chance. Give the guy a chance. I think Marciani hasn't been given. He's been hard done by some. This Umutansa, no, give me 1, and then he hasn't been playing for so much. Then he makes a mistake. Yes, he's bound to make a mistake because as a Kalata, you understand. He's been in and out, in and out. He hasn't been given 5 games straight at all. But then, what can we say? That's how it goes.
Okay.
Also, look, like our front three. I think Modi started bad, but then because he has been given a run of games, he has now been performing. For me, Modi has improved. I was one person who didn't like Modi, but then now I've seen some players need time, but a run of games so that they can get into form, so that they can gel with the other players.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should be overhauling players or really say a bunch of players and then buying other ones. Yes, there are players that must be sold. There are areas that must be reinforced. But then, no.
No, for time about a champion, let me bring in KB Mask. Welcome, KB.
Hola, sure, gents.
Hey, I see this mask in your name, and I'm thinking, do we need a Department of Chiefs Efficiency or something like that? KB, what did you feel about this game?
Look, I actually wanted to comment slightly different from the game because being a Pirates fan and being Maki and actually feeling the pain, I don't like the way they play. So I just want to revert back the way Chiefs used to be in like the prime Chiefs, back Kaka Baxter. And then my question would be, it's interesting to see how people treat, or even our South African clubs have some form of or some sort of favor towards foreign coaches. Mara, when it comes to local coaches, they're actually quicker to put them out. Zwane, he was booted out, and when you check Zwane's history, he was within the top 5.
Yeah.
You look at and another thing that I also need to mention, maybe I could remind most of the Chiefs fans, would be Chiefs has always had this system where they would if they do bring an international coach, they twist him with a local assistant so that they can still have that traditional flair.
Yeah.
With Navi, they've completely signed him and his assistants. There's no local assistant that can actually bring in the flair. Another thing that I see Nabi struggling with, he does not have a system. And you cannot tell me as a coach, you're going to play more than 4 months without a system and I'm cooking. What are you cooking without a system? Let me give you another example. Baxter, we knew he had a system where he would play 3-5-2. And then his system was, and this is one thing that I remember back then, I used to say this with my friends, to say, should Kune leave Chiefs? Chiefs is going to struggle because Chiefs only played on transition. So it was Kune, from Kune it went straight to the attacking side. And then Horwacheka, he used Kingston Nkata as a dummy striker. Nkata never scored goals. His purpose was to disturb a defense, sit there, be a dummy 9. And the midfield, those midfielders were the people that were scoring goals, and Chiefs was winning through midfield because transition was Kune make sure you collect the ball, transition quickly to the last attack. It's midfield. Nkata, his purpose is just to sit there and relax, just disturb the defense of your opponent. That's what he did. And Baska used to win a lot of games, a lot of trophies with that system.
Yeah.
When I look at this coach, Barry is cooking. What are you cooking without a system? Now I hear people that are saying swap strike or swap players. Or swap a player if without a system. Okay, first you don't even have the combinations of players. You don't even have 3 players that you can say, I'm going to have my start. I know this formation, they can do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Go to Pirates. Pirates, they can change formation. Midfield Bakakenya Kabelo Dlamini instead of Maswangan. You do have that interlinks of players because they know each other. They know how to gel with other. So Coach Chiefs, so far, Giants, Bafana Chiefs, I must be honest, players, I don't want to point fingers at any player, but they play as units. They don't play as a team.
Okay.
They
Okay.
play as individuals. And
No.
they're under immense pressure because now they always want to excel. And when you excel alone, it's a problem
Mm.
because you
KB.
don't have the support.
For time, I'm gonna have to jump in. Thank you to the first panel, Let's Chiefs. Guys, we're gonna move on to Orlando Pirates. We're gonna end off with Sundowns tonight. We're gonna move on to Orlando Pirates. Remember, guys, everybody's gonna have 5 minutes. I just want to say something about this situation that Chiefs is in. I think for me, when I was speaking to Josta, he said something. He said that, how do you expect fans to be behind you if you are losing balls and you're smiling, or you're losing balls and it's not a problem? And I think for me, the standout thing is the effort. That first half was so bad. And I have no expectations of Marumo Gallants. I'm not a Gallants fan, but I expect my team to come out and show that they want to go win that game. Like, it feels as though Kaizer Chiefs is in a constant state of next season. And they want to be given off for what needs to be done today. So, Coach Nabi, you don't have Fistin Mayele and I forgot the other guy we wanted, Faisal Alum. You don't have all of these people. But what can you draw up today that shows us that, okay, today I'm going for this game? You look at the players on the pitch. Okay, Happy Mashiani, you have not played in a long time. Okay, Shabalala, it's been a very long time since you've been out, or you haven't had a starting lineup proper in a while. You haven't played in a while. Quinika and cross-tried, but I'm like, you watch those players and you go, this is your chance then. Lose the game if you must lose. But how also, man? Show us that you're doing something. Show us that you're trying. Show us that you're pushing. My disappointment from the Gallants game is that it definitely felt as though everybody's thinking about Pirates on Saturday and they feel as though it's okay for them to get a day off versus Marumo Gallants. I don't care who you put onto the pitch. I don't care. I don't care who's playing, who you've signed, who you've done. Well, what if you can focus on today and the game after that and the game after that? Then you'll be fine. But this idea, Nabi comes out every day and tells us about, no, the quality of players. Yeah, this and this. They look down, they do whatever. That's your job. Part of your job is man management. So if the players are not doing enough man management wise, part of your CV, part of your job description is to make sure that psychologically those players are ready. Physio, we see that we've had injuries over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, physio, part of your job is to make sure that those injuries are not happening to the degree that they're happening. Now, Uplom, ufigile sati, Uplom is getting used to South Africa. He's not quite fit. Oh, when must he get fit? Abos Sirino, Abos Bamba. We can't keep anybody on the pitch. Do you not look at your guys and say, guys, they're not playing in Africa. They're not traveling all over the place. They're not doing... God forbid what happens next season when you go to CAF Confed. God forbid. With the injuries we have now, God forbid they have to fly to Libya and fly back and then play in 2 days' time. What's going to happen then? We've had so much rest and so much time. So for me, my worry with Chiefs is, while you keep looking there and saying, oh no, they don't have the quality. Oh no, Nabi's not cooking. Do you know who's cooking? Zwane is cooking. Do you know who's cooking? Rabatol took Makesi from the bottom of the league to within, 3 or 4 points of Kaizer Chiefs? You're about to get jumped by everybody who's around you. Abu Kala and Slaba are right there. Now you're telling me that Marumo Gallants has Marumo Gallants that played in a final. No, Makesi that played in a final is sitting there and you're going, oh no, they've got better players. They've got better quality. They've got better coaching. They've got better this. They've got better facilities. They've got a better schedule. All of those things, Chiefs is better. You guys are not crying out for any Makesi players. Now Makesi, from anywhere, from nowhere, they're here now. Now Amazulu. Last year was Pablo Franco Martin, number 13. Look at where they are now with Atazwan, who just came in now. He just arrived. How many things are better there? So now why can't I look at those players that coach my management and say, number 9. Number 9. Of all of the places you could be, number 9. And I must go, oh man. Hi guys, let's be honest, guys. Anyway, we're going to go into Pirates now. So please, if you're requesting, we're requesting for Pirates. We're going to speak Pirates. Remember, I'm going to put 40 minutes. I'm going to put 40 minutes up on the clock. Everybody gets 5 minutes. So that means 8 people are going to come in. Please, guys, let's respect each other, especially with the time. And let's make sure that we can get everybody in. Please, 2 or 3 minutes with what you want to speak about in terms of the game. Then let me ask you a question or two for the rest of the time so that we can just make it a nice conversation. Follow if you have not followed. Please tap the screen. If you have not tapped the screen, let me open up, guys. Orlando Pirates played versus Pyramids FC in the second leg of the CAF Champions League. They did manage to lose that game 3-2. Mfukeng scored in the 41st minute. Maele scored in the 51st. In the 45th, sorry. And Kota came back in the 52nd. Sobi scored in the 57th. And then, of course, in the 84th, Maele rounded off the comeback win for Orlando Pirates. Then, of course, they had 15 shots. Pyramids had 8 on target. Pirates had 13 shots, 4 on target. Pyramids had 61% of the possession with 461 passes. Pirates had 39% with 309. In terms of big chances created, Pirates created 1 big chance and took it. And then, of course, Pyramids created 6 big chances and missed 4 of them. So that is how the stats look there. Tagabak. Mtakababa, veli.
Bafo, hello bhuti, how's it?
Enzakalani man?
Kunjani baba?
Hayi man ngimnandi man velile. Masingene straight egamini man. Uthini ngegame yenu man lapha eEgypt?
Ngiyabona imishini yakhe imoshwe yi-weekend enkulu. Weekend enkulu lena. Yesincedile, hey.
Uyahlupha veli.
Sinakilelwe yi-weekend enkulu. Hayi sisi-right manje, si-right. Siyalibona ikusasa esilibhekile liphambili kudlulile kwangolesihlanu. Angeke sigxile kuko kakhulu, kwenzekile sekudlulile. Njengoba kwenzekile nangabanye komdlalo futhi.
Yeah.
Sibheke phambili, sinedabi ngeyi-3. Sine-final ngeyi-10. So okuningi sesizokukhuluma after. Asingaxeki lutho nje. Konke kulungile. Amaphutha enzekile. Ngeke sikhale kakhulu.
Masikhulume ngawo lawo maphutha. Yi lawo maphutha ayenzekile on that game. Ayenzekile on that game.
No, Mtakababa, amaphutha enzekile yiwo nje lawa ama-defensive errors which allowed those goals to come in, because if you look at those chances, the goals the way angena from our Pyramids, those were just mistakes in because if you look at the first goal, if Van Rooyen has pressed that guy angacross Bola free or CBC he's behind him, or also the second one or if you have to head with 50-50 with that guy for the second goal. So yeah man, the third one, China saved the ball and then the defense doesn't clear it, it goes to goal. So yeah, even though it was so painful on that particular time, because you know sometimes no motion yakoga unethemba lokuthi hayi siyafika siyalose siyawina bese bayakoga futhi. So and especially they score in critical times, especially after 4 or 5 minutes straight to goal.
Yeah.
But those were the only mistakes that were there. It was if you remove them, then the game was ours. It's the same thing with the game. Yeah, this one doesn't pass with Uber. If it's not an offside goal, it's been judged. Then it's Sundowns is a mistake. So it's one of those things.
Mina ngifuna
kakhulu abafana sasenento ezibalulekile ezizayo asingakhali kakhulu yesikhona kokuthi hayi asibhileni kithi kwanamhlanje emabhakane
uyabona ke ungabulali show before ngiyenza ufuna ukubuza ama question velile ufuna ukubuza ukuthi le ukufaka uxoki and maybe to change how iPirates beyidlala kancane. Do you think that maybe that was a situation where uJose uyawashayikanyana man?
No, but remember, he has been playing since the Sundowns. They were exposed for pace. Maybe lost for one end of task. But again, in the second game against Sundowns, because he played just back three. Those back three was flat-footed. Too much. As much as he's a center left-footed player, but bekangamuveli kakhulu ku left hand side as he was doing like now covering for Uhoto. He was more like in the central, like in those central space, and Uhoto was more defending rather than attacking. On this game, if you can look, Uhoto was more like attacking, was less of a defense than Baku. And of which now then it means to Umbogas have to drift into his left hand side. That's why you find Umbogas on the other side, Gaku on the last game, as compared to previous games where they just played like the flat back three, Pirates. So that's what I think was exposed. But on the other ones, Hoto on this one was just going too much, so which also stretched that back three again. But also,
how much did that play into the game? Guti nidlale almost, I want to say pound for pound, man.
No, we had to. Remember, we were playing away team. We needed an away goal. We had to. But if let's say that's what I'm saying. If you check out those three defensive errors, then surely those goals being a those are just errors. People are just supposed to mark their men, and then we would have defended our goals. We're supposed to do that. We're playing away. We had nothing to lose because
I had everything to lose.
No, but at that particular time, because remember we didn't win at home. Angithi ekhaya sambile sayodlala amagrandi nabantu abakhiya ama-change room.
Awu mara angithi away goal ishaya i-team ehostayo.
Sengisho ekhaya angithi ekhaya zange siwini team.
Hayi ngisho nina manihamba niyangala ngithi i-advantage inani regardless.
Yes, that's why we're supposed to attack them to get an away goal, and at least it happened even like in 40 minutes to get that away goal. And the second one, even though coach maybe I'm take this ngakhala ngawo in terms of substitution, or maybe after we scored the second goal, we're talking about how to structure the defensive line. Yet now they will need 2 goals. So far it happened, and remember the equalizing goal just came in so quickly even after we scored. That really killed us. But he put us right. So right, Nathan. So right.
Dog, taki. Even though ngiyakubona ufuna ukuthela amanzi abandayo on top of this thing eshisa, but it's fine. Nifuna ukushaya then nizosmile futhi ngiyakubona. For time, let me bring it to Mildo. Thank you, Mtakawa. Mildo. Oh. Okay, let me do this. We're gonna go to Tiro. Tiro, welcome to the show.
Mr. OT.
How are you, my brother?
All is well, brother.
Tell me. Yazwakala. Tell me about this game, man. Tell me about this game.
Hey, bro. Sapolisa manxeba, man. Since Friday. Since Friday is Polisa manxeba. Yeah. Hey. So, but then, sure. Ithi ngizame program ngizitotobe yabo ngizithulise. Well, so I think during halftime, I think siringile during halftime ngakhala man ngo-X-Men man. Le inclusion lega X-Men man idisturba isenergy la emuva. I thought babazamile lo I blame coach, but then uzamile include X-Men ayala bafethu, especially on the day where he was expected as the tallest to actually cover lama long ball angenayo. He had 2 goals angene phambi kwakhe wabhekile lama ball and he wasn't I'm not sure, maybe they got too, just wasn't up to the party on the day. Attack those long balls coming in. I don't know how. And then, njengoba ngishilo the synergy, I felt near half time it was already I mean, the signs were there, the diamond. Cloak is just not there to do what's needed. So I thought maybe Magazo Shinja, he actually Amtonze bring in Tito to say our team's nothing in day one and one thing only. Just keep the ball, let's play, let's do the passes and actually remind them which is corner nati. Because now these guys were not even worried about Pirates attack anymore. He made it worse with keeper Unkota. You could see that they are not even worried whether Pirates is coming or not because they nullified Urile and Umahopa is being Mahopa, they're doing Mahopa things, drifting away. So they could see this is not the Pirates that is coming into the party anymore. They felt Utinaji and the occasion is getting to us. And then they started playing helicopter football. Like it's Nibiza Hamba to pray.
Hamba to pray.
So it worked for them. It really worked for them. And njengoba utaviyashilo singakhali kakhulu.
Ningapolisi la kusho yabe mina ngifuna ukubuza ama question nepolice adini.
No, but then they done their best, especially 2K bafethu. I mean, what Jose is leaving to the team for me is the most interesting thing is Amachita, Aborile, Abonkota, Ombogazi. I think Amachita must just keep their heads high. They've got a long way to go. UCBs, I think, is having a season of his life. Not only UCBs, you look at Umakaole at his age and how he's playing the role that he's being given. He's also having a season of his life. So let's see how the season ends and we'll do stock take Master Straight deal. That's just me.
I want to ask you.
Okay.
We spoke about Coach Rulani and how Coach Rulani did well last season and the season before, getting to these stages of the CAF Champions League. But then when he got to the place where now he's supposed to jump over, not your overthinkanyana, man, and then you start seeing some weird changes happening, you start seeing some chemistry changes happening, or maybe he makes the wrong decisions. Could we say that that is the case with Coach Jose, that maybe this time he got it wrong, especially with playing open versus pyramids? I mean, you guys got to the semi-finals, ningadali open, but some of the games were very cagey, man, very defensive. And then now, chigi, hey, senyale nale, man. Both of you are going back and forth. Do you think that may have been a mistake?
To some degree, I think it was. I think Amachita, I think they were responding to what it's only natural that they respond to how the coach responds to them. Instruction, so I think now Jose on the day, I think it got to him a little bit. I think this game played to his mind, come to think of it, 2-3 games before. When you think of how he included Abo Bogi that he's being Ulimele Azanai, trying to prepare him to say, hey, brah, we are going to this game, and this is how these guys are going to play. And you are probably the last defense. For me, as I think about it, I think that's where it started going wrong for him. But then Motaung, he's been coming. MC Alger, those North African teams, they almost play the same way. MC Alger, Ngombogazi, no CBC, with the long balls coming in. And the guys were strong enough to actually challenge. Sometimes not even a matter of winning the ball per se, but then at least show your presence.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like I say,
let me let you go. Let me let you go. Vele uzayithatha leyo card yakho. Mina ngi-right. Mina masingadliwa ngi-right. Ngadliwa this season. Let me begin. Thank you, Tiro. Mindlo, go out and come back because it doesn't seem to be working on my side. I'm going to let you in. Go out and come back. Let me bring in Maronza. Maronza.
Oti.
Why ninga shayangi try Algeria nalanda whatever benilande ngale nahamba nayo why ninga shayangi short left
Oti mara ngitshilile lade ngathi ngithukile ngitshilile lade yasa ngithukile
man thuswa yini Maronza
you know Oti ne let me take it as we move five games prior to this game.
Okay.
Right? We need to be honest as Pirates supporters. We need to be honest. You know, we cannot shy away. I think Pirates was playing. I don't know. I cannot say. Can I call it the defensive football?
Yeah.
Or they were playing. We were a game. We wait and see. We score. We sit at the back. We push. We go to the next round. Just like that.
Yeah.
You understand me? So we don't want to be fancy. We don't want to do whatever. Right? And it worked. And when you change, Oti, remember when you change, you need to adapt to the new changes that you're putting in.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? So
yeah.
When they change on this game, they change, Oti. And when they change, now they want to play pound for pound. All right? Saspalandin. Hey, Oti, I can say more shalapo, Oti. I say more, Oti, I say more. I had a problem with, I know people didn't see much of that, but I had a problem with Ngombata and Makawula on the day. I think they were following each other most of the time.
Okay.
I think there was time where I feel they're in the same place at the same time, and which was unnecessary, you know. One must stay, one must be there. So, but I think on the day they were playing too close, you know, and it makes problems for Abu Hotel Masai team to do whatever they wanted to do. You understand me? Because
Mindlo.
And then the side Yaga von Royen was more of overloaded most of the time. So I think he didn't get more assist. I think that is where he cramped or get injured because he was overloaded and he was overworking. You understand me? So I think they didn't see that, and somebody's supposed to assist with whatever. They're supposed to assist him.
Maronza, isn't that one of the issues about this game that you guys played? Because throughout the season up to this point you're making about Van Rooyen, we saw Hoto going to the other side in some matches, and there would be three guys on the right hand side. Just so that he could help out with Van Rooyen. You know, we saw some of the things that coach was doing in order to make sure that games, you know, calm down. We saw all of that. Now we start seeing the mistakes. Or is it just the stage?
I think the pressure was a little bit too much, to be honest. You know, after the FNB game, right? I think that team shook Orlando Pirates to say, Esa, I think now we have met somebody that is going to give us a challenge.
Yeah.
So it's either we score early, and we go and sit at the back. But remember, we sit at the back, but if we sit at the back, they're still coming. That was the problem. So the problem was not solved because if we sit at the back, hence I'm telling you, Makaula and Bata, they're supposed to overwork. You understand?
Yeah.
Try to fight. You know, do those dirty work. Like sometimes, sometimes. But now, if you want to be fancy and try to be smart all the time, good football, it will never work.
Yeah.
You'll see Sundowns versus in the
Pyramids.
Final. One team will play dirty, the other one, one will play dirty, one will play nice.
Yeah.
So it's either you choose one between the two, but if you choose nice, you must know that you're calling for them. So sometimes be dirty, you understand? But I feel like they were too smart for them. They were too soft for those for those guys. I was
I
Kahlela sometimes. It doesn't but Kahlela.
I want to ask you here for the last minute, Maronza. How hard is this going to be to do next season? Ngoba, you know, you still had the surprise package side of things. You still had Jose. Next season, what happens to Pirates, man? Especially when we look at Africa.
You know what? My expectation. Last
Yeah.
season we went Abuchwane but keeper Mhlaba wonke. This time we went to semi-final. I wish they can go to final or win it, right? With the team that we have, or add more players. But there are some players which need to go out from Pirates. I don't care who says what. About Toki, about Shandu. We need to offload. You know, we cannot have players that doesn't give us anything. So I think Guna 6 or 7 which needs to go to transfer list just to go there and say but keeper, because there's no way. If somebody doesn't give us anything, he needs to go. You understand me? But I was disappointed with Toki, to be honest. First goal, I know Van Rooyen didn't press that guy, but okay, the ball usbis yaslipara kancane. Ukoro umuntu uma emva kwakho behind you.
Okay.
And then there's the second.
Very
goal,
quickly.
You just jump ahead. That goal, OT, I'm giving it to China. I don't care who says what. China is supposed to go out from. We are in the last 4 minutes of the game, 6 minutes of the game. Go out. We don't need to have to save that ball. Go out and punch it from there. There's a traffic there, but push your way or do something. I give it to China. I don't care who says what.
For time, I want to jump in, man. Hey, Maronza.
Okay. Singahamba uthi ngiyon got 3 points.
Yabona ke.
Nethathi cup phela lapho uthi.
Hayi. Nina nifuna ukuvuka ngathi, I see it. Nifuna ukuvuka ngathi. And then nizobona the be careful of Coach Nabi. You think Pagu Solomon, afterwards Solomon, how are you?
Mr. Oti, how's it?
I'm good, my brother. 3-2, Pyramids beats Orlando Pirates, knocking them out of the Champions League. How do you feel about how that game played out?
No, first of all, I'm proud of Jose Rivero. Coming in, like, this is his second time in CAF stint. I think he did pretty well, especially away, being able to score. But for me, Mr. Oti, is very simple. The defense let him down.
Okay.
The defense put him under pressure because those goals, now they could see that those strikers were so confident. They could come in on high balls and put you ahead while I'm there as a centre back, Kogi, and as a captain. You are a soldier. You look at Sundowns when they're playing, you'll find that Bumvala, they've got bandage. They'll have bandage on their head. But Kogi is a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy. A pretty boy. He wants to kiss the ball. How does somebody get confidence to hit the ball twice? That twice in front of you, and all you can do is smile.
Yeah.
No, you are a centre back, the last line of defense. You are the team captain. You are driving the ship. What is your job? To hold your hand? Come on.
Yeah.
Go get disappointed the coach so much because even though the changes of Jose, because I could see he had the plan. He had a plan that I'm gonna use speed when these guys get tired. I'm gonna now slow it down with passing of Masangai and Dlamini, which I could see the plan. I understand. But now high balls are coming. You don't know how to deal with high balls. Like out of all the problems that Pyramids were giving, they scored with high balls. All of them came from head and in front of the center back. I was like, rather create a foul. Why you don't create a foul? If that guy must be afraid to jump. Like if I don't get the ball, this guy's gonna tear my head into 2 pieces. But Toki is a sweet guy. He's a sweet guy, you know. He's a good guy. That's when I missed Nda. If Nda was there, you know Nda doesn't play like that.
But then can I ask?
I don't know if the network is gonna give me problems here.
Hey, Lynn, I'm not sure. Guys in the comments, can you still see me? Please, can you still hear me and see me? Are there problems or anything? But after that, I want to ask you. You had that already. TLBC chain had already been showing you for so long that guys, Isialwa. But then now you bring in Koki and you mess up that chemistry. Did Jose overthink this game?
I think he was trying to be defensive, understanding the pressure that he had. Because remember, Pirates don't have the best transaction midfield. Like, we don't have a creative midfield. Masamba he is, but he's low. We don't have somebody like Rivero. So you need to take all the chances you can get. So he was trying to be, I would say, to be safe. You know, getting extra defenders. Remember, we had actually, for me, we had 5 defenders at the back. Do you see that? We've got Koke at the center, and we've got CVC helping a bit of Van Rooyd, and we've got TLB helping Hoto on the side.
Okay.
So now, you as a center back is to make sure if they come from the left, I'm able to adjust. If they come to the right, I adjust as well. Now they're coming in the air. You are alone with the guy. You don't push the guy. At least get a follow up. But they should know, those guys, you can't jump in front of me. It's either you're going to get out of this. Like you. That's why I said, let's look at Sundowns when they are playing CAF. You'll see Mbala, Bandish. You'll see Gekana, Bandish. Kogi, nothing. Kogi, nothing. Nothing. This guy, for me, I think if it wasn't done, I'm sure, if it wasn't done, he was going to make sure that these small boys, nothing happens. So for me, Jose executed everything according to plan. But on that day, your captain, remember, he's the assistant coach in the team, in the field. He's also the one who should tell you, we are lacking in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. For the last, just for time, for the last minute here, what happens to Paris next season?
Pirates is in trouble, to be honest, because we don't know the new coach that is coming in and what system will have and what approach. And I know sometimes they like to play it safe. They're going to put in Zikazi as the head coach. And you know, after 6 months, the pressure is going to be too much on him. For me, if they go to somebody like Pitso, and you know Pitso doesn't play, you make a mistake like Koki, your career is over. So we need somebody who's going to bring character. Not this thing, hey, we are pirates. No. You know, being nice, sometimes it doesn't work. So you need aggression, more aggression. So hopefully they get somebody soon. They don't do this thing of favoring, he's a South African, getting Zikazi. Those, you know, in 6 months, they feel under pressure, these guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for time I'm gonna jump in, guys. Let me know if there's any problems there. Solomon. Let me go to Agent, my brother. Welcome. Is it a shalom?
Shalom, my brother. Shalom. When a beautiful Monday morning.
Oh, Nazo.
No, man. You know, they say in life, there is no double promotion. No matter how brilliant you are, there is no such thing as double promotion. And I don't know if you saw the video that Mazola said or posted, where Tabs was saying, we have paid our school fees. And that is the same line that I used during after the game, you know. That it was high time they paid school fees, and they paid it in the most harshest way possible, you know. And it's a building block. And again, you're asking a question that I'm also asking myself: was maybe this was Pirates Kaizer Chiefs season? We don't know what's gonna happen next season, you know. But for me, the most important.
Oh, you mean by getting to the just clarify before they get you. You mean by getting this far in the competition?
By getting this far in the competition, maybe that was like Kaizer Chiefs moment where if you don't win it, it's gonna take you 2-3 years again to come back to that place, you know. And to be fair, the draw was on their side, the group stages, the quarterfinals, the semi-final, what do you know there? Anyways, I just wanted to say something that. Firstly, I was disappointed. Okay, let me correct them. Mbogazi, Koki, not sub, but starting lineup. That's what Paris did. Ever since the Sundowns game, they've always started 3 center backs. Always. Even against USMLJ, both games, they started them. So it's a tactic that worked against Sundowns and it worked in other big games. So why not continue with it? For me, my only disappointment was you considered a player like Costa as a dangerous player. You made a special project of him that anytime Costa touches the ball, 2-3 players should be around him. Piston Maele showed signs this side. Why didn't you plan for him? why did you feel to plan for him as a coach? Why was he left roaming around? You know, you should have at least 2 players on him at the same time so that the one challenges with him for the ball,
Yeah.
the other one gets the second ball.
Mm.
That's how you deal with such kind of players.
Mm.
And again, the Tito sub should come in on a 2-1 down.
Mm.
It is the right sub because you want to kill the tempo of the game. Now, you can't be wanting to go ping-pong, as you're calling it, because that's what North Africans team like. You
Yeah.
know, you must kill the momentum of that team. Make the game as boring as possible. You know, so yeah, it was.
Can I ask you? This is the conversation we've had. Obviously, a Sundown supporter. You guys have done this a lot. Composure. South African teams. Do we just lack composure? Do we just, there's been a lot of talk about South African football and, coming in and wanting to play. And if we lose, I remember before the game, I had the live, we were speaking and people were saying, if we lose, we must lose with this football. Composure, ego. Tell me about that. How does this play into what happened? Does it play into what happened?
Against Sundowns, I would have said so, but against Pirates, I wouldn't say so. I think it was a moment of head loss. You know, they would say lost his head. Like the one that always tells us that Pirates is the biggest big team in the country.
Yeah.
You know, Pirates respect
Yes.
the games. You know,
Yeah.
Jose does this. So it was a moment of head loss. You know, I don't know if it's pressure, maybe it's what, like adrenaline. I don't know what it was, but I would put it down to head loss. You know, because even the Pirates game, when was the last time you saw an exciting Pirates game? Because for me, I can
4-1. That's what it was.
you know, that 4-1, but for me, I can go all the way to that Gallants game, 8-1. That was the last time I remember Pirates winning and having that excitement. But ever since then, they've been boring. One mistake, goal in, you don't know what happened. That's how Pirates went and played. But
Yeah.
in the most important game, we decide to make it exciting. Why?
Mm.
You know? So yeah, I asked you a question when they won. For time. No, I've had 3 seconds. I asked you a question, OT. I
Yeah.
asked you a question, OT. When they won the league, the group stages without losing.
Yeah.
And I asked the question, should we tell them or we shouldn't tell them? Now that you know what Pitso meant, group stage will deceive you. You will be deceived.
The 5-2, there's a 5. I always say the 5-2 came from the group stage. Mara, up there.
But those are the school fees you're talking about. Thank you.
Okay. Mildo.
My brother, how's it?
I'm good, but Mildo, 3-2, Pyramids, knocks Pirates out. How do you feel about this game?
I have mixed feelings about this game.
Okay.
I'm happy at the same time. I'm hurt because we are out. I'm happy about the performance that they scored. You know, the way they played. It was an open game, almost similar as when Pyramid came here at FNB. It was an open game. Unfortunately, Pirates didn't score here.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have worked in our advantage if they scored here and
Okay.
go away and play the game that they played now. It could have worked for us. But what I would say is consistency is key. And from Mkota play scoring the second goal, I think we could have at least tried to manage the game, because at least being away, we just manage the game and not just wait for them to come and attack us, but manage the game so that we can go to the far. But it was so, the way we played, we were so cautious in such a way. Let's see if they're going to come at us or what. Like playing and like waiting for them to see. But our game plan in a way kind of like backfire on us, because now we play them at home and going away, it kind of backfired on us. But we could have at least we've shown that we can win the game. But the problem was game management, you know, the discipline, the game management. We could have at least tried something else. But the game, I'm happy about the game that we played because they scored. That's what I can take out of the game. But
Do you think that the scoring maybe gave Pirates too much. I don't know how to put it, man. It gave them the ego, man. It inflated the ego, that thing, because I can even think of myself. I'm watching the game, Mfukeng scores. We're all here live, and I thought to myself, "How? Hi, man, Pirates is through." Do you think that maybe that maybe took the focus away? Even when Kota goes and does the second one, you think, "Yeah, man."
We were overexcited and thought maybe we've won the game. We are going through the final. Hence, I'm saying that we could have managed. We were supposed to manage the game because it was not like Pyramid was that much dangerous, but giving them so much space and showing the weakness that we cannot deal with set pieces. I saw 2 goals that we scored from. They scored from set pieces.
Yeah,
we scored our goals from an attacking play. If you look at Nkot trying to pass that ball and it deflated and came back to him and he shot because we were attacking. You see him received the ball and he was like confidence and composure and he scored the ball. And a beautiful goal they scored. And if you can look at this, both of these boys are both 20 years scored. You can take out that's the positive thing that you can take out from. But nonetheless, consistency is key. We've played games that some games we were defending tactical and some games were attacking. So, but then nonetheless, I think Pirates had a good season. Had a great season coming season, especially now looking at that Jose is leaving. I mean, we have to give credit to its due. We have to give credit to, and I feel since we lost Nda and Sasana at the back, I've been concerned about Cloaky. Cloaky for me has been the weakest link at the back. Cloaky for me, I mean, most Pirates fans who watch the game openly and like support, they will tell that, Cloaky is one of those defenders that you are not even sure if he's going to perform or he's going to make mistakes, because he has a lot of mistakes than delivering and doing what he's supposed to do in the field. So, but bringing Umbogazi, a youngster like that, performing like that, showing that he can play since the game, he's been praised since the game where we won against Sundowns. Then you see Umbogazi like raised his hand and say, "Coach, I can play." You can understand. So yeah, I mean, but I'm happy. I'm happy about how Pirates played and how far they went, unbeaten until now. And if you look at the other competition, we were also unbeaten. But hence I said consistency was key. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm sad that we're out, but I'm happy the way we played, because if you look, yes.
Last sentence, very quickly.
Yes. Oh yeah, we know South Africans, we're looking at between Sundowns and Pirates that we're gonna have the Battle of the Stars. South Africa is gonna host the CAF Champions League final, so that's one of the things that we can take out and say yes, that mostly had us the most.
Yeah. For time, means I'm gonna jump in, guys. We are gonna go into Mamelodi Sundowns now. Thank you to those that joined the panel. But I just want to say a few things. This school fees thing is funny because sometimes you don't need to learn the thing yourself. Sometimes you need to learn from other people. I've often said here on the show that, when we've spoken about Mamelodi Sundowns wasn't that far away. Sundowns wasn't a scheme change, a coach change, or what away. They just needed to be composed a little bit more. They just needed, guys, the knockout stages of the CAF Champions League is 2 teams, most of the time, it's 2 teams looking at each other and going, okay, who's going to make the first mistake? Long list of Ahly wins that has happened. You saw Mamelodi Sundowns do something similar now. So what I expected from Pirates was the experience of playing in the big games. Now already this season, you got a lesson. You go pound for pound, Sundowns goes 4-1. Against the team of Sundowns' caliber, you go 4-1. You come back, you play reserved, you win that game. They had won most of their games up to this point not being exciting. And the rules of CAF, the rules of African football as a whole, when you look at AFCON and all of those things, usually, right? Boring is good. Boring is great. Boring is amazing. if you can be the most boring team, you can go and win things in Africa. Boring with just being able to finish off those chances, you're done. What's frustrating about the Pirates game is that they gave you every advantage you could get. You score a first goal, you've got an away goal. Now they need to score 2. 4 minutes later, 1-1. Nkota steps up and scores 2-1. You've got another opportunity to just calm down, relax. You know, what do they say in football? A critical phase is not just the first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes. A critical phase is also immediately after you've scored, immediately after you've conceded. Those are very important places because sometimes you score, you relax. Phew, 1-0, we've got the away goal. Now these guys are getting up and they're scoring. All right? When we speak about Koki thing, I know everybody's going to speak about Koki, but there's something that I'm not hearing from people. And maybe I'm alone in realizing this thing. Have you guys noticed that at Pirates, the defense works best when there's a Grootman and a young player? Young. Sbisi, Kimang Sbisi Koki, Nda Sesan. At the time, it was Koki Sbisi. Like, it's almost like having to become a Grootman makes the other guy, like Sbisi, is playing out of his skin because he has to look after a kid. Like, he has to guide a new one. So when you bring Koki into that one, Koki is meant to be the Grootman, but then Sbisi and them go back to, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think that's a chemistry point that we don't speak about too much with Orlando Pirates. I think that has been incredible. Not to mention the fact that, again, don't change. Why are you changing? All of the answers that Pirates needed were on the pitch. And we'd seen it at different times during the season. We had seen all of that during the... Van Rooyen is under pressure. How many times did you see Hoto change to the other side? And you'd be playing Hoto, Nkota, Van Rooyen, Hoto, Nkota on the same side just to calm down a little bit. How many times did you see Abomako coming in and playing as the third centre back on the other side to allow Abohoto to do other things? Or when Abomfuking are quiet, you allow the guys to go forward and then Abomfuking can overload the side. But in any case, I think for me, the last thing, the scariest thing of that game was the second half. The most scariest thing was the second half. Because there was a point where in the first half you were going pound for pound. But in the second half, it started becoming half ground, clearance, half ground, clearance, half ground. And then now you're sitting with so much pressure that something was going to break. And this is where maybe the argument that people make for playing your football makes sense. Pyramids played their football because they know that they can go hard from minute 1 to minute 90. They're also new to this. They're also new to all of this. So even the experience point, but anyway, they're also new to this. They know that they can go 90 minutes. They know that they can outscore. They've been scoring and they stuck to their guns, right? Maybe that's the argument you make for South African football, but you have to go and win. But in any case, guys, let me go into Mamelodi Sundowns. So please request if you want to speak Mamelodi Sundowns. Sundowns, of course, played 1-1 draw with Ahly. There was a goal from Tahe in the 24th minute. Wonderful goal, near post. No, he killed it. Maybe questions of the defense there. Then, of course, in the 90th minute, there was a backtracking defender that and then it became 1-1. In terms of stats, Ahly had 10 shots, 3 on target. Sundowns had 8 shots, 3 on target. Sundowns had 60% of the possession, 549 passes, versus Ahly's 40% with 369 passes. Sundowns, funny enough, created no big chances, therefore they could not miss any big chances. But Ahly created one and missed the one. But this means that our representative for the final is going to be Mamelodi Sundowns. They're going to be playing Pyramids FC. This, of course, gives Mamelodi Sundowns a chance to do something that has not been done in South African football, winning that second star. And maybe this is the redemption that Coach Caruso had been looking for. Let me bring in Umko. Umko, welcome to the show. How are you?
How's it, Oti?
Man, I'm good. Umko. Sundowns! Finalists, how do you feel about the game that they played versus Ahly?
Eric Tomemo, you are such a typical Chiefs fan. A backtrack defender, which I think bolo yakena.
Yeah, you need that sometimes. Sometimes you cross a ball, Mvala puts his head there, and then it goes in. It is what it is.
No, you know what? Let's just congratulate Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they're really flying the SA flag high.
Yeah.
And it's been season after season. I mean, they've represented us so many years in CAF.
That's
and
true.
finally, they get to play that final they always wanted. Remember when they won their star?
Yeah.
Or when they won CAF, there were questions as to whether it was backdoor and so forth. But now they get to play the final without any issues. And I actually loved that game. Actually, I love that semi-final because honestly, they especially the second leg, they showed a lot of resilience. And even after Ahly was leading, especially leading in the first half, that is very hard in the second if you are playing a second leg game.
Yeah.
So they showed resilience, and even the game management, man, in that second leg, it was top notch. They didn't even seem like they were nervous. Even after
Yeah, they didn't panic.
scored.
Yeah.
No, they didn't, and that's what I noted. I was like, no, man, they are getting to understand now how to play CAF matches, and especially at that stage of CAF, semi-final, actually quarter-final to semi-final, up until you get to the final. So I totally loved that match, and kudos to them. Let's also give props to the coach. Honestly, he understood the magnitude of that game. He understood that he was playing Al Ahly, one of the best teams in Africa, and his tactics worked in first leg and they worked in second leg. And I'll tell you why. This coach seems to understand the quality that he has. He seems to know that he's got players that he can use at what time, at what point, and they can produce what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Themba Zwane got injured in October, if you remember very well. That was before even the coach came into Mamelodi Sundowns. And what he did with Themba Zwane, I was like, wow. Because now, remember, Themba Zwane is the captain of Mamelodi Sundowns, the best player in Mamelodi Sundowns. So what Cardoso did was like, okay, it's fine. This guy is ready to come and play. But I'm not going to, to burden him with a lot of responsibilities, especially in this semi-final. Let me make sure that I bring him gradually in the second half. And that worked very well. Because remember, we're talking about the best player here. So if you put him first half, if he starts the game, he's going to carry everything to himself. And coming from an injury, that can turn out to be a bad decision to make. But because he understands the quality that he has, this coach, trust me, I was so happy with the way he succeeded in beating Al Ahly. And kudos to them. They played well.
Okay, can I ask? I feel like what you're saying here is maturity. How much of this, and I'm going to ask you an unfair question, how much of this is just experience? We spoke about Pirates paying school fees. How much of this game was Sundowns' general experience? And how much of this was down to Coach Cardoso and his influence?
Yeah. Let me put it this way. It's experience for me, 80% experience, and the reason I'm saying it's experience for me, I'm not taking out Cardoso in that equation, because remember it comes with the experience as well from experience. So the experience of Mamelodi Sundowns constantly playing in CAF year in year out worked so well for them, and then getting a coach that also understands what it takes to be in that league, or what it takes to be in that tournament, and making sure that you blend the two and then you come up with the results. They've been beaten several times in the semi-finals. And when you look at it on OT, most of the times they were not supposed to be knocked out.
Yeah.
It was a matter of understanding that actually at this stage, these are the decisions that you need to make.
Yep.
You are good. All the teams can see that you are good. But when you get to this stage, it then exposes you as a team to say, look, here you were beaten by experience. And the fact that they were able to contain Al Ahly in that match, the calmness, and in the second half, the way they came out in second half, it turns out that they've got the experience to even win it, even go to the final in next year if they play this way.
For time, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Litabo. Litabo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks, Uti. Thanks for the opportunity. It's been a while.
Yeah. Tell me about this game, 1-1. How do you feel about it?
Amazing result for the club, for the supporters. South African football, amazing. Yeah, just incredible. But a lot of questions. Uti. Things like player selection, starting 11s, and a lot of questions are around Doso as well. As much as he's won, there's still a lot of questions that we have of him, But I think when I analyze his time at Sundowns, I think he's understood the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is not quality, it's not playing style, there's nothing he's done, he's not a better coach, there's nothing special he's done. He's just come in and said, look, you guys have a mental problem, you have a barrier you guys need to overcome.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they've been working on.
Yeah.
Just it. Because when I saw the video that got released of him speaking to the players,
Yeah, Litabo.
it's evident that
Guys, is it me or is it Litabo?
that's what's Letabo.
Oh. I think the network.
Yeah, I can see it's a bit red, but can you hear me?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I was just saying. I was just thinking. I was just saying that from my perspective, I don't think the coach was excellent, but I think he got an excellent result, and he's identified the issue at Sundowns. I don't think he's selected the right players, especially in the starting 11. When you look at Saleh's being on the list, and then he's being changed last minute, and Morena comes in, and just the way we played overall, I don't think it was great, but we got the perfect result, and the experience of the players came through in managing going down 1-0 in Ahly against 75,000. They really managed it well, and kudos to Cardoso and his technical team for getting the result. And I think it's a positive result because the performance of Sundowns have been poor in the league. I don't think we've been great. We haven't been exciting to watch. We've just been getting results, but it hasn't been a nice team to watch, and in like previous seasons, So yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? What do you think happens next season? Do you think Cardoso can if say he wins this Champions League, do you think that it becomes a Pitso situation where Pitso won within the first few months? He had to finish off that job at Ahly before going into his first full season and winning it. How do you think Cardoso does next season?
Look, I think because he's gotten where many coaches have failed, he's earned the right to take the team into the next season. They'll also have pre-season, which I think you'll have and now you'll also have a better understanding of the team. And also, they've got the Club World Cup, they've got to perform there, they've got to play well there as well. The Club World Cup is not just going to be about results. Whatever results we get won't really matter. It's going to be about how we compete and how we represent the country, the continent, and ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think next season under Cardoso will be a better season. He'll have a better understanding of his players, and he'll bring in his own players. So I think next season probably will be his best season. And we'll see the best of him next season.
Okay. For time, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Motsepe Nobitso. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, awuchiya kokasi.
Aw. Intsaku Motsepe.
How's it?
But kimnati bare Mtsepino. O rinka ka Ahly le Sundowns man. Kimo Sundowns ile ko finally.
Hey, now when I am so excited. I am so happy. I don't care how they won. A win, it's a win. Remember, at the end of the day, we're playing Ahly, very technical team, very difficult team to beat.
Yeah.
If we look at the first leg and the second leg, you can see the resilience in the
That's
So
true.
to beat them in that stadium, say really the boys did very well, and I don't care what does the coach does as long as we get a win. That's the most important thing. We've been waiting to get into the final. We want this league. We want this cup. And remember, coach Juliana, o fihlile hore ho na le mathatanyana le teng ha fihla ko teaming. So he took over from Komangoba. Going forward, he managed to change few things. Mohlomong le mentality of thinking at the players probably, you know. And I could tell you, or he's got quality players. Liena as himself has got the experience of this cup, you know. That's why he's a champion coach. So I think the next season he will even do better than this. It's just a matter of referring yena le di-players tsa hae hore ba utlwisisana ka tsela e kana kang. But you could see hore more there's love, there is teamwork, there's winning mentality. Everyone only wants to get the silverware. So I think they're blending very well, the coach. Just a matter of time, you know. And coach himself, I can assure you, the positive mentality that he's got. I'm telling you, this Sundowns is going fast, going to places. And I can tell you, go World Cup, we might come again with the better results as the finalist. You know?
I wanna ask something. Do you think that Mamelodi Sundowns needed an outsider? Cardoso is an outsider, wasn't affiliated to Sundowns, comes into the club. Do you think that Sundowns, the club, the team, the players needed Cardoso, or could this have been done with a Rulani or Mangoba?
I don't think Rulani Mangoba would have made it. I mean, they've been with the club for so many seasons, and we have lost the semi-finals and whatsoever. And remember now, Pitso, when he left Sundowns, there was this winning mentality. Even people, they thought Pitso is very arrogant. Pitso is not an arrogant coach. He's someone that likes to win. When it comes to his job, he's very strict and he wants to win, you know. So the mentality ya Mangoba, mentality ya Rulani, obviously it was a very, very different, because you could see even at the bench, you know. So that it really matter the player, you understand? So I think Rulani le Mangoba quicker as by decision by Inkile. I think it brought the better results. It brought the better atmosphere even on the team. Because can you imagine now you've been told, Hori, any player rotates or whatsoever, something like that, and you've been the first player over Palang now and then. So you know, to hear things like that, I think it was just demoralizing, you know, the mentality of the players and everything. So I'm happy about the changes. We're winning, even though we don't score like we used to do, but we're winning. We there. I mean, league number 1, Rako World Cup, Rako final. So what more we need? You know, let's give him a chance. Okay. The next season, you know, it could be a very different dynamic, you know.
No, I am Cepino. Thank you so much. Let me bring in. Thank you. Let me bring in agent, my brother.
Can you go to ASAP, please?
ASAP first, okay. Habibi.
It's been a long time since we've gone away. Everybody asking if we're still booming. We've been chilling and booming and grooving, and you know we ain't stopping. We ain't dropping. Hey! We ain't fading. We just climbing until we reach the sky to be loved.
I thought you were gonna hit me with "It's about time," because it's about time. Sundowns in the final, 1-1.
Mr. OT, mina ngithi to the left, to the right, to the left. to the right, to the left, to the right.
Let's
Boom.
stop.
Mr. OT. He's on the line until we reach the sky, Mr. OT.
Wait. Sidebar. You know, you just confused a lot of people that are watching this that don't know what you're talking about right now.
Huh? They better catch up. They better go back to go watch all those other episodes, Mr. OT. They better catch up, Mr. OT.
Hey, bar.
Mr. OT.
Mina ngimnandi man ngizwa wathi ukufinal.
Hayi Mr. OT, hayi ukuthi uzwa bathi Mr. OT. Now uyazibonela Mr. OT. Now you can see it for yourself with your own eyes, Mr. OT. Uzibonela ngo-C.
Yeah.
Uzibonela ngo-C, Mr. OT. Mina athi ngicale kanje Mr. OT. Congratulations, Mr. OT, on the new podcast. The episode of Just That was fire. Really dope, Mr. OT. And then three-man press, the episode where you guys are all chilling together. Dope to see you all in one space. I see a Pambi Bafana Shisa.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, you're running at another pace, my brother. And God's going to reward you so hard, bro. So much. Back to the topic, Mr. OT. I'm thankful to show Mr. OT. I am so happy, Mr. OT. And Chabling, for Mr. OT. Izisha, I'm a spinning flying kick. I'm a back flip, Mr. OT. I think that bringing in Cardoso, as much as we didn't agree with it in the beginning of the season, as much as we didn't like the style.
Ngicela flowers wami.
Ispanile, Mr. OT. Ispanile. I went like at some points I was saying no, Fleming. Yeah. Yini manje? Yini lesho?
Yeah.
Anishtivi lesho. Kanti Mr. OT, njengoba busho to the previous pro, maybe we needed an outsider to come in, and because the Sundowns thing wasn't a lack of quality, but it was just a mentality thing. You can see with the Amachita were capitulating in the last 20 minutes of the game, Mr. Uti. So I think we just needed a coach that was just going to instill the state of belief into the boys, because we can see, even if we weren't necessarily playing at our best, but there's a sense of belief within the team itself. You can see the senior players are fighting, Mr. OT. I can definitely say that the boys put their blood and sweat on the line in that game, Mr. OT, and it paid off. Sometimes we don't understand our tactics, waka Cardoso, but I aspire. So it's that thing again of Uti. But we're losing the soul. I thought the soul of Sundowns was winning. That's what I thought the soul of this team was, and we're seeing a little bit of division happening, but it doesn't matter, because we're going to go take the next star now, Mr. OT. But Mudimu is star, because Mudimu is a Sandawana, Mr. OT. So I'm really happy with the work done, and Mshishi coming back at a perfect time, Mr. OT. Even the Langawud listen to it was because of that flick on Yagam Shishi that no one else was going to do in the team, Mr. OT. I think Amachita se study Shilo would say, all you have to do at Mamelodi Sundowns is Ukvala Ribeiro, and then there's no one else dancing with Ribeiro. But if you have someone else that's going to dance with Ribeiro like Mshishi, that's going to be able to do those one flick ons, those quick flick ons, those quick thinking moments that are going to change the game. What a time for that man to come back. Yeah, cool, man. I've said a lot, Mr. OT, but I've said a lot. But the gist of everything is, I'm happy that we're going to the final. Disappointed Paris didn't join us. Disappointed that Stellenbosch didn't join us. But this is an incredible advertisement for South African football, Mr. OT. And I hope that Lamachita Peti don't think it's time to relax. In matter of fact, it's time to work harder to sustain this and take it to the next level, Mr. OT.
No, I was going to say, I didn't want to let you go, because Vele, I don't want to stop you. I was like, no, let me let you Shembe finish.
Let me rant. I'm feeling like Khanye. I think Khanye West.
No, don't go that side. I don't want to be banned.
Khanye West, Khanye.
Guys, before I let Agent in, also, can we send a shout out to Fadlu? Fadlu Davids, one of the coaches that are severely underrated on the African continent. I know we all remember him for his Maritzburg years, but I think now on his CV, he has two CAF Confed finals that he's going to be coaching in, one as co-head coach, one as head coach. So that is pretty incredible on top of what he did as an assistant that side. Agent.
ASAP, don't go, man. You have to close the show by that melody, man. One last melody.
Hey, man.
Hey, he triggered me when he spoke. I was somewhere in another continent, and I was speaking, and I said,
Yeah.
advertisement, and someone said, no, not advertisement, it's advertisement.
Yeah. Advertisement.
When I hear him saying advertisement, I'm like,
Advertisement, my brother. Advertisement.
No, man, but on a serious note, there's an English word they say, they call it poetic justice. I don't know if people know what is meant by poetic justice, but poetic justice means 2 years back we lost to our dad. 80 something minute on goal, Mvala.
Ow.
This time around, we beat Ahly 80 something minute that on goal. That is poetic justice. Poetic justice says we lost to Esperance last year. This year we beat them.
And you stole their coach.
And you stole that coach on top of that. The person that beat our coach home and away comes in and takes that person's job, but you're not there. Poetic justice says in this same running we have lost to our Ahly many times, I think 2 times. Poetic justice also says Cardoso lost to Al Ahly in a final. This time around they overcome them and Cardoso overcomes Al Ahly. Poetic justice says Cardoso lost the final. You can finish the sentence on my behalf. That is poetic justice. but that's the thing. Now coming to the game, I always say there's a very thin line between bravery and foolishness. Coach Cardoso was on that thin line. If the result went the other way, he was going to be seen as incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
But because it went the other way, he's incredibly brave. And with the lineup, I predicted something similar, even though I had Shaudilile and Reina starting. But with those Zwane, it was understandable why Zwane comes into in from the bench. Because Zwane is a 60 minutes man at his age. So when do you want to bring Zwane in? You want to bring Zwane in at the 60th minute, where it's either you're losing or winning, or you want to bring him then, when whatever the result
Or
is,
take him off.
or take him off, at that time. Now, on the 60th minute, whether you're winning or losing, and you bring Zwane, if you're winning, he controls the tempo, he kills the tempo, he attacks fouls. The reason why Utito was brought on by Coach Rivero, same reason. If you're losing, he brings the X factor. And I know you're the only person that I trust doesn't have selective amnesia. You recall how Ribeiro and Zwane played together.
Yeah. Yes.
You recall them.
Yes. Hey. On the right hand side, I remember someone on the right hand side. Quiet anyway.
No, you can continue, because when I see some of these things, it's like I'm making them up somehow. Because to the fans that are forgetting, they're asking themselves, why are you taking out Ribeiro when Zwane is in the pitch?
They can't play together.
They can't play together. And we've seen it over and over again. But because there was that one chip over the board, we're like, that was the wrong decision. That's what I'm talking about. Bravery or foolishness. Where was Coach Cardoso there? That was extremely brave again. And I make this analogy that if you watched what is it called? Need for Speed. Isn't Need for Speed Fast and Furious? Yeah, whatever. That thing with cars, that movie. There's a scene where Vin Diesel, like he uses Vin Diesel, there's other names, I don't know. When Vin
Dom
Diesel is
Toretto,
driving-
man.
Yes, he's driving. There's a scene he's driving with someone, and that person presses that thing, news turbo, whatever it's called. He presses it early. The car accelerates faster.
Yeah.
But Vin Diesel accelerates it just after some time, and he finishes just before him.
And he says too early.
He says it's too early, you know. That was what Cardoso did with the three subs, Shalulile, Reginas, and Zwane. And this is what we've been lacking. You know when to press to go for acceleration. Know when to go fast. And you went fast, and you have to go fast at the right time. You know, for me, hence when I came to the panel, those subs I made them at the 45th minute. Because for me, I was scared that, hey, we are losing. You know, but he made them 60th and 70th minute. And that was the right time to go for an acceleration. You know, and again, we've seen a strategy. I think maybe it speaks back to the type of coach that you are. If you recall us, our Pirates always beat Sundowns in CAF finals. They always have a
Last minute. Yeah.
last minute. And why those last minute? Because they had secret weapons in the bench. They either bench or Saling, or they bench
Mfukeng.
someone forget. And we're talking about a master, a plan as you call him, and the master tactician adopted that. So you can, when you step back and analyze everything like that, you're like, that was incredibly smart, but could have went wrong. But very, very smart. You know, for me, the only mistake that he made was not to start sales, because I feel like sales should have started. But otherwise, I understand why. And again, we talk back to the experience. This coach coached in North Africa. He knows all the dark arts. People are surprised that sales started and he got off. We saw it like in Matthews. Now we saw it in Loftus. We saw it here with Loftus. We saw Matthews pretending to cry, only for him to be brought back. So those are the little details that that matter. And the last point that I wanted to make was with that left hand side, Omore and Motaung, you have a speedy attacker in Ashu, Imam Ashu. You need to double take him. You saw just one mistake, he made a difference.
Yeah.
But the rest of the game, he was neutralized by Motaung and Moren. You know, and again, to see the technical flexibility of a coach who's throwing in the kitchen sink. You take out a defender, you put Motaung there, and you bring an attack, and you bring Lunga just to balance it up. That's what you call experience.
Yeah.
And they say you can't buy experience. I think maybe that's where Coach Rulani was lacking, just the experience of big games. And we respected the big game, we respected the moment, like Pirates usually do. That's why they really assign someone to Ribeiro. We assign people to Imam, you know. So brilliant game, man.
Okay. Guys, we've gone over. Thank you to everybody that jumped in. This is all I want to say. And maybe agents stay on for this one. The rules of CAF are immutable. You can't move them. You can't change them. Boring will always be better than exciting in CAF Champions League, number one. Number two, if you can just stay in the game for long enough, you will be lucky. A lot of people are calling this win by Sundowns lucky. Guys, if you know Marcel Collar's history there at Al Ahly, it'll look like it's just all luck. But what I've often said about Mamelodi Sundowns, and Agent, you can be my witness here. Sundowns didn't need a lot to go win. Sundowns didn't need changing and this and that and doing all of those things. You didn't need all of that. It was just the balls enough to stay in the game for long enough. You're playing chicken. For those who don't know chicken, you stand, a car's driving towards you, you are both playing, you're both seeing who's going to make the first mistake. And unfortunately for Coach Rulani, he often used to be the one that used to blink or move the car, do whatever. And sometimes you just need to stay in the game and something will happen. And again, you might say here that it's one thing, but the truth of the matter is that a lot of finals, a lot of semi-finals, a lot of quarterfinals, a lot of knockouts in the Champions League have been won exactly like this. Lucky goal, out of the blue. You don't know where it came from, but you just had to be in the game. So I want to give Coach Cardoso that credit. And I also want to give Fleming credit, right? I'm not a huge fan of Fleming, but I've always said that with Fleming, what I enjoy about him or what I like about what Sundowns did is that you have to sweep clean. You have to get rid of Rulani, you have to get rid of Mangoba, you have to get rid of every single route that's in there that may be linked to something else. Because unfortunately, that tree got to this point and they weren't able to get to the finals again or to win another star. So when I'm brought in, I need to change everything. And maybe you do need an outsider because maybe it is mental. I've said beginning of the season that I think the problem with Sundowns is that now you are overthinking this thing. You're overthinking this thing. You're overthinking the process and overthinking, we have to do all of these big things, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, a stranger comes in, looks at the squad, he's got a couple of months, he puts it together. Hey, man, you're in a final now. So, also, I think there's a lot of people that must apologize to Cardoso. I know maybe in the league something might happen or maybe whatever, but he's in the final. He's done something that Sundowns has not been able to do, right? Does he do it next year? We don't know. But if you remember correctly, this is the exact same situation that Pitso found himself in Ahly. He arrived, had a couple of months to finish off the job, and then in the second year, he won it again. Hopefully, Cardoso can do something for that, like for Mamelodi Sundowns. But I think it's an incredible game. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns for being in the finals. Well done to them. Oh yeah, one last thing. I said a while ago that when Mamelodi Sundowns played versus Esperance, there was something different, man. Like, you see, in that game versus Ahly, Sundowns felt like the bigger team. Like, usually when Sundowns gets here, he's the underdog, man. You feel like the underdog team. But there, they felt like, even in this game versus Ahly felt like I have never seen Ahly in the games I've watched of Ahly. I've never seen them take a lead in a semi-final and then defend all the way back. Back five defense. They usually control games or they take advantage of you again and go 2-0. So it's like this scary thing that guys, I'm sorry. I know you guys are not going to value a 1-1 or a 1-0 win, but this is what Sundowns needed to do, to not shake. They did not shake throughout that game. And I think that's what made me most proud about Mamelodi Sundowns. And I wish that Orlando Pirates had taken that thing that they'd done so well throughout the season and put it into here. When Pirates beat Sundowns in a Nedbank Cup final, and it's Relay who's come on and he traps the ball badly, but then it happens to go through the legs of Zungu and then he hits it into the net. Nobody says lucky. They hang on until that point. When it comes to boring versus exciting, guys, sometimes you must bore people. A game must not be back and forth. The more back and forth, I said it in the Pirates game from the first half, the more back and forth you have, ping pong is not controllable. Ping pong is not controllable. Anybody can score, anybody can win those games. So you can't be going back and forth the whole time. Boring sometimes means that hold the ball. Remember King Sundowns versus what do you call it? Sundowns versus AS FAR, where the last 30 minutes they just looked at each other and they were like, look guys, we are not going to push, you're not going to push, we've made a business decision. If either of us make this exciting, one of us wins, now you open the door for something else. Sometimes you just, orange an agent, sometimes you just need to hold it and be like, hey guys, it's fine.
And I think people will never understand that moment, how big it was.
Yeah.
And I think it was a precursor of what we see. That you need to be understanding. And even if you look at the stats, Sundowns still had majority of the ball.
Yeah.
In any game. But the difference is, what are you doing with the ball? You're not attacking, you're just killing the momentum of the game. It's just standing there, you know. And that game, you attack, you lose. Who's gonna remember? How are you gonna make it to the finals if you lose that game? But only because you don't have an ego that I played exciting and I won. Ego doesn't do anything to you, man.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say though, I saw a comment there by Tyler. Tyler, I'm not advocating for bad football. I'm advocating for football that took them to the final. It's winning football. It's winning. It's winning.
They say what you do when you go to Rome, do as the Romans do.
Ow.
So when you get to CAF, do what CAF people do in CAF.
Now when I said just get to the final, this football will get you to the final, people said, hey, final. There we go. Anyway, Asian, thank you to everybody that joined. Guys, please remember, before I go, please remember, it's been mentioned a few times, I did an interview with Jordaan Milford. Incredible interview because he's one of the few players that has been overseas, that was at Kaizer Chiefs, that was at Sundowns when Patrice Motsepe had just taken over. There's some really interesting discussions we have about team attitude, about all of those things. It's available on YouTube, so there's a link in my profile, or search Overthinking Football Show on YouTube, and you'll be able to find that really amazing conversation that we had there. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I asked him even the things that we speak about here. He has some great conversations about what's happening at Chiefs. What does it mean to have a heavy jersey? He speaks about where the winning mentality of Sundowns comes from. You know, there's some stories about Patrice Motsepe and things like that. But in any case, guys, I will see you then tomorrow. Where we'll discuss some of these things in depth. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Bye everyone. If you have not, if it's your first time here, follow. The show is done every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And then of course, if Chiefs, Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana are in action, I will be here too. Guys, bye-bye. I told you guys to have patience. Topi must give me a VIP ticket.